In part 1 of my video on the word over, we saw examples of over meaning more than, higher than, and the extended meanings of cover and control. We also learned the difference between over and above. So, in this video, part 2, we'll begin by comparing over and across. 1. We drove slowly over the old bridge. Because bridges are usually flat, both drove over and drove across are correct in this example. If a surface is level, either over or across is possible. 2. A friend shouted to me across the room. Rooms have level floors. So in this example, across is correct, over is not. In our next examples, over means go up, then down, changing from side A to side B, with something between, an obstacle or a problem. 3. No one could hear over the noise in the room. The noise was louder than our voices. The situations in sentences 2 and 3 are different. One room was quiet, and my friend's shout traveled across the room easily. The other room was noisy, and our voices could not be heard above the noise. 4. If we can't go over the mountain, we'll have to go around it. In this sentence, over is the best choice of words because mountains are like a high wall, not a flat surface. 5. A bus ran over the cat and killed it. Unfortunately, the cat was in the way of this bus, and this careless driver rode over it and killed it. Across would be wrong here. 6. Stop worrying. You're over the worst of your troubles now. Problems and troubles may not be physically high, but they are still obstacles. So, over is the correct choice here. So, remember the difference between over and across. 7. Hand over the gun. We often hear this sentence in movies where a police officer demands that someone surrender their gun. In other words, the gun must change hands from side B to side A. And what's the problem between them? The obstacle is the person's refusal to listen, their unwillingness to give up the only power they have, their gun. 8. My mom and dad often argued over money and had many disagreements with our grandparents over the best way to raise us kids. Arguments and disagreements are often about a problem, like a wall between two sides. We always hope the other person will come over to our side and agree with us. So, my parents quarreled with each other about money and quarreled with our grandparents about how to bring up the grandchildren. 9. At first, nobody liked the plan, but after a lot of explaining, we finally won them over. Trying to convince others is like fighting a war. If we win someone over, we have brought them from their side A to our side B and changed their mind. 10. She signed her house over to her daughter. After the mother put her signature on a document, the mother's house became the daughter's house. Ownership changed from one side of the family to the other side, from mother to daughter. 11. The nurse turned the patient over on his stomach. To turn something over is to change from one side to the other side. Here, the man was lying on his back, and the nurse turned him onto his stomach. 12. The car rolled over twice before coming to a stop. This car was in an accident and turned from one side to the other 2 times before it stopped. Passengers in this car could be seriously hurt or even dead. 13. I made so many mistakes that I had to do it all over again. In other words, I had to go back to site A and repeat everything I had done before because of my many mistakes. In these examples, over, meaning go up then down, can be used to express the distance between 2 points A and B. 14. The restrooms are over there, near the back door. In other words, the men's and ladies' toilets are at a certain distance from the listener. The speaker would naturally raise their hand and point in the right direction. 15. Come over for dinner at our house sometime. Your house, A, and my house, B, are separated by a certain distance, either long or short. The context isn't clear in this example. 16. Let's meet at a coffee shop. I don't want to talk about this over the phone. Telephone and radio waves both travel long distances through the air from points A to B. So, I want to talk to you face to face and not by using the telephone. Go up, then down is also useful to mean during a time period between points A and B. 17. Let's discuss this over lunch, shall we? Over lunch means during lunch. In other words, we can eat and talk during our lunchtime. 18. Over the next few days, we can get to know each other better. When we first meet someone, we, of course, don't know them well. But during a visit to my city, perhaps you and I can spend a few days together to become better acquainted. 19. We'll be traveling in China over the summer. Summer usually lasts from June through August. So those are the 2 points in time, A and B, during which I will be in China. In these next examples, what goes up comes back down. So over means to stop, come to an end, point B. 20. Game over. Anyone who plays online video games is familiar with this phrase. Of course, it means this game is finished. The full sentence would be, this game is over. 21. Our cat hates baths, so let's do it now and get it over with. To get something over with means we have something very difficult or unpleasant to do. So let's do it quickly and be done with it. This unpleasant job, giving our cat a bath, is the obstacle we must cross. In our next 3 examples, this up and down meaning is used to express the idea of something standing up on the ground, falling flat on the ground. 22. The wind must have blown that tree over. The tree used to be standing upright, but is now flat on the ground. In other words, something already touching a surface falls down flat. The tree was an obstacle, but the wind pushed it down, pushed it over. 23. Whenever I need pocket money, I always ask Grandma. She's a pushover. If you can push something over, it must not be very strong or heavy, right? And my soft-hearted grandmother never says no when I ask her for money. So a pushover is a person who is easily convinced or who cannot resist pressure. They fall over easily with one little push. 24. The players are celebrating their victory over the other team. In sports, winning and losing are often described using the same vocabulary as in fighting a war. So, when the enemy is lying dead and defeated on the ground, we have won victory over them. Our team has come up against the enemy the obstacle, and pushed it down flat. In this sentence, the players are having a party after beating the other team. From these last three examples, 22, 23, and 24, this idea of falling means the tree, Grandma, and the other team fell over because something or somebody was too strong. So, let me give you more examples meaning too much, too far, or too strong. Notice that in these phrases, over is before the verb or adjective and means excessively. Here is a list of some common vocabulary words. Now, here is a review of over as explained in both parts 1 and 2. Part 1. Illustration A. More than. Children over 7 or 8 years old don't usually play this game. Children more than, older than 7 or 8 years. Illustration B. Higher than. A bird flew over the lake. The bird flew high up in the sky with the lake down below. Illustration C. Cover something completely or everywhere. All of the windows were painted over. Someone had covered the windows with paint. Illustration D. Control something. Who will oversee all the work that needs to be done? Who will watch the workers and see that everything is done properly? Now, here is a review of this video, part 2. Illustration E. Across a flat surface from points A to point B. We flew over to Europe to visit our relatives. The ocean is a flat body of water that our airplane had to cross. Illustration F. Go up and then down an obstacle, changing sides from A to B. Why argue and fight over something so unimportant? Why should two people, sides A and B, disagree about this small problem? It took me a long time to get over my first girlfriend. After I stopped seeing my girlfriend, I spent months trying to cross a wall of memories to leave my sad feelings behind and become happy again. Turn your test paper over. Turn your test paper to the other side. I've shown him over and over again how to do it correctly. Doing something over and over means repeating it like a circle. Illustration G. The distance or the time between 2 points A and B. Take these letters over to the post office, would you? The post office is a certain distance from here. Please mail these letters for me, all right? In the evenings, I enjoy relaxing over a glass of wine. I enjoy drinking wine during my quiet leisure time in the evening. Illustration H. Come to an end, point B. I'll be glad when this competition is over. I'm exhausted. The competition begins at point A and ends at point B, so I'll be happy when it stops. Illustration I. Something up falls down on the ground. Don't knock that vase over. Don't hit the vase and make it fall on its side. Here are some of the phrasal verbs in this video, listed according to illustration E, F, G, H, or I. The meaning of the phrase is also given along with the position of the object pronoun, if one is used. For example, illustration F, sentence 5. A bus ran over the cat and killed it. To run over something means to hit it with a car. The object pronoun is put after run over. The black dot shows where the pronoun will appear, run over it, at the end of the phrase, run over. Illustration F, sentence 7. Hand over the gun. To hand something over means to give something to somebody unwillingly. If we replace gun with a pronoun, the correct position is between hand and over. Hand it over. So, the black dot is between hand and over. I hope this video has helped you to understand the basic idea behind the word over and its extended meanings. Thank you for watching.